Hey, everybody. All right, so for the past X amount of episodes, I've been talking about if you don't believe you don't believe that about the BS that's going on at the border and all this good stuff. And yes, I realize that my hair is a little fluffy right now. It's because I haven't put anything in it yet. I just woke up. I just got my coffee. Just got my breakfast. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've been talking about if you want to see what the BS is about, just go straight to all the propaganda videos that are showing everything about the invasion and how everything is overwhelming and all this other crap, because it's total crap. It is total crap. And here's where I give you the example. Check this out. It's titled uh, "Leaked Leaked Footage: U.S. versus Mexico, or the migrants, or something like that." And it's all about fighting and violence and all this other crap that apparently we're undergoing here in the U.S. at the border, which is total bullcrap. What I've been saying this entire time. Check this out and see for yourself. Okay, first off, on those shields, they say Policia Federal, which means it's not here in America. This is in a different country. Okay.
Hundreds of migrants stormed the crossings at San Isidro this morning after spending weeks in crowded shelters. Some tried to reach the United States via the pedestrian footpath. Others climbed over fences as U.S. troops waited on the other side.
Okay. Again, not in America. This is what's going on in certain parts of Mexico where they're fighting. So the title, leaked footage of the National Guard fighting US Mexican border. Okay, no, that's not correct. So far, all of this is still in Mexico.
In recent news, a video has popped up that's got everyone talking. It shows the National Guard at the US-Mexico border, and things look pretty intense.
Pretty intense, he says. Things look pretty intense. Look how intense it is. Oh my God. All that intensity. I mean, I don't know. You just showed a couple of minutes ago fighting that's going on in an entirely different country and how everybody's organized right here in the US.
This isn't just any clip. It's gone viral, stirring up a lot of chat about what's happening down there. Why is this happening? And what does it mean for everyone involved? Let's dive in.
Okay, the reason for the National Guard and all that is because my governor, Greg Abbott, has sent them there. You don't see any of this in Arizona or New Mexico or even California. You're just seeing that bullcrap with the razor wire that you just saw. That was done here in Texas. And you see them running with guns and all this other stuff. Well, guess what? All of the migrants are just sitting there, standing, waiting. There's no chaos. Nobody's having to throw punches. No guy's having to raise his gun at them. None of our U.S. Military or National Guard is having to raise it. Look at the violence. Oh my God, the violence. What violence? What are they talking about?
Of this story, exploring the 10 key points that bring us closer to understanding the real deal behind that leaked footage. Number 1, FBI's discovery on the US-Mexico border. The discovery by the FBI of migrants crossing the US.
Okay, first off, those are Chinese. I know that footage. These are the Chinese over in San Diego, and the landowner there tried to offer services, tried to shelter them, tried to shoo them away, and the landowner there got arrested because all in the name of interfering with border security. No matter which angle that the landowner tried to do, he wound up getting arrested for interference, despite the fact that the border patrol still has not closed that off and is still letting all of these migrants come in California.
Mexico border illegally has cast a stark light on the complexities of.
Okay, that's Texas. Okay, that's the El Paso del Rio area. And as you can clearly see, no war. No war.
Immigration and border security. Scenes captured during their investigation reveal not just the act of crossing, but the human stories behind each.
Okay, it jumped from Texas back to San Diego, California. And again, nobody's armed.
Journey. Migrants from various countries, driven by diverse motivations, face harsh realities in their quest for a better life.
Okay, where's the guns? What's the invasion? Where's the guns? Where's the grenade launchers? Where's the machetes? You know, over in Haiti, where people jump across the border, across the waters into Mexico, and then got into thing. And as you can see on the top left corner, it says San Diego.
This diversity underscores the global nature of migration challenges.
Okay, people strolling, again, is not an invasion.
Highlighting the fact that the issue transcends geographical and national boundaries. The journeys undertaken by these individuals are fraught with danger. Migrants navigate treacherous terrains, risking life and limb in hope of crossing into the United States.
So far, that's the only thing they got correct.
Perilous paths they take are often lined with natural hazards and man-made obstacles. From deserts with scorching temperatures to swift rivers, each step is a test of survival. Furthermore, they face the risk of exploitation by human traffickers who prey on their hope and desperation. This not only endangers their lives, but also poses a significant challenge to law enforcement agencies working to combat such criminal activities.
Now, for the record, Border Patrol, before the interference of my Texas governor, Greg Abbott, before the interference of Arizona Governor Ducey, before the interference of Ron DeSantis, you know, when migrants were crossing and they were just being thrown on buses and planes and trains, Border Patrol technically had this stuff covered. Pardon my language. Border Patrol, state troopers, all the way down to local law enforcement, they had this stuff covered. Here's the thing, though. They're getting shifted around at a time where there's a ginormously larger number of migrants crossing the border. Okay? And that's the thing that I keep saying is inappropriate. Does the governor have the right to do that? Yes. Shift them around and throw them here and throw them there. Yeah. But he's doing it all inappropriately, and it's not stopping or even slowing down the migrant haulover.
These findings have profound implications for U.S. border security strategies. The mere act of crossing the border.
Okay, that's not Texas. Okay, that's not California. I don't know where that is. Okay, there's vines coming off of that tree like it's Brazil. Okay, that's not our border. I don't know why they're showing that footage.
Is a symptom of deeper global issues such as economic disparity, violence, and political instability in the migrants' home countries. It prompts a re-evaluation of current border security measures.
Okay, look at this. This is this is what I'm talking about. Not only is there not an invasion, but the usage of sending these migrants, loading them directly from the border to a bus, and then saying, oh, Biden's not doing his job. Well, the governor isn't doing his job either. This is complete inappropriate usage of the state's Texas power. All you guys that call yourself patriots and all this stuff, you can see this clear as day. And yet you still want to look at some old guy in the White House as opposed to looking at the asshole that's running the Lone Star State doing this right here. It's on your own propaganda films. You understand? This isn't somebody that's an activist for human rights. This is somebody called Stealth. And Stealth, no different than the guy this guy here on the far corner, JRL Investigates, Tyler Oliveira, and JRL investigates and all these other U.S. immigration update, which is not an actual U.S. immigration department filming crew. You know, they just take that title there. You're all filming this exact moment. You're recording this exact maneuver that they're doing from border to bus. And for some stupid reason, you're looking at Biden instead of the actual a-hole that's putting those, what he, even my own governor calls, rapists, murderers, robbers, thieves, traffickers, drug traffickers, weapons traffickers. Okay? And yet here in Texas, as you can clearly see, they're not even being checked. They're not being background checked, criminal checked. They're not even being checked. Their temperatures aren't even being taken to prevent to see if there's any, COVID or any sickly, or at worst, COVID carriers and stuff. This is off of your own propaganda recordings, dude. This is every single propaganda recording that feeds into the hate. I like Stel's very narrative of stuff like intensity and stuff, that just intense narrative voice, that this is what's really going on, this dark and horror and all this other crap. Dude, this is off of your own recordings of what's going on. You want to get pissed at Biden? Why? Biden's not in charge of this. Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott is. Arizona Republican Governor Ducey is. Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis is. What are you doing? What patriotic whatever the hell are you talking? What are you talking about?
Pushing for solutions that address not only the act of illegal crossing,
Right.
but also the root causes driving people
Again, that's San Diego.
to undertake such perilous journeys. The complexity of the situation challenges policymakers to devise strategies that are humane, effective, and respectful of international obligations.
Okay, humane and respectful to international obligations was originally done. As a person here in Texas who saw this stuff, Mayorkas and Harris, who was just commanding from the DC, which technically everybody complained about her not visiting. Technically, we really didn't need her down here. What we needed were those holding facilities and all these volunteer groups to actually pitch in and unite with the political figures like here in Texas to actually start budgeting correctly as well as organizing, because I don't think any of us saw this 1 million. We've now reached 1 million migrants within a 3-year time span. Okay, the most that I can remember is from 2013, where there was 100,000 El Salvadorans from 2013 to 2015, somewhere around there. And that was about the most that had ever crossed the border at the same at all at once. Here it's an entirely different time, very different times, with a different president, with a different circumstances. And we should have been organized right from the get-go. That humanitarian and all this other crap stuff that he's talking about here on the film,
Highlighting the need for a multifaceted approach to border security and migration management.
Y'all saw that? The guy crossing the waters in a team to keep from drowning.
And respectful of international obligations. Highlighting the need for a multifaceted approach
That's not an
to
invasion.
border security and
How in the world is this an invasion? They're trying to keep from drowning.
migration management. This realization calls for cooperation beyond borders, underscoring the importance of international dialogue and collaboration in addressing migration as a global phenomenon.
Which is something that nobody's doing. It calls for cooperation and all this other crap, but nobody's doing that. That's the problem.
Number 2, Operation Lone Star and its impact.
Here we go.
In a bold move addressing the surging issue of illegal immigration,
How is all that
Texas
an
under
army?
Governor Greg Abbott launched
That's my
Operation
guy.
Lone Star. This initiative, a direct response to the escalating number of migrants attempting to cross the US-Mexico border into Texas, aims to fortify border security and deter illegal crossings. With the deployment of additional state troopers and the installation of physical barriers.
Those guys are all suited up and everything. At that time, the temperature had dropped down to 23.
Including floating barriers on rivers and razor wire along the banks of the Rio Grande.
And as you could see by those heads, it still didn't stop the migrants from crossing.
Texas has taken a firm stance on border control.
Texas has done a firm stance on border patrol, but again, all inappropriate. None of that was needed. Those people could be in holding facilities right now, and those holding facilities could have been emptied out by the ones from 2021 by now. They could already be citizens, tax-paying citizens.
Lone Star reflects Texas's aggressive approach towards unauthorized migration, emphasizing the state's commitment to safeguarding its
unauthorized entrance. But yet, here's the thing. It's our responsibility. And this right here is a prime example of not showing any kind of responsibility. It's an exercise of political power. Okay? But again, it's an inappropriate one. Look at these guys. Look at those guys in a row. They're surrendered. They're not armed. Our guys are. They're not dangerous. Our guys are. Look at this guy with the baton right here. And that's if he doesn't want to use his firepower like the way the other two National Guardsmen have the ability to. It's a luxury option.
Borders. These measures, while intended to strengthen security, have sparked significant controversy, especially regarding the jurisdictional tug-of-war between state and federal authorities over border management.
Which technically, the federal government is only telling them, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. They're shaking a finger at them. So far, there's still no fight going on between Texas military or any other National Guard from other states like Ohio, Iowa, and any other state that comes over here to volunteer for this whole razor wire, keep the migrants out BS that they're doing. Technically, we still have yet to see an actual fight between the U.S. and Texas and any other border state National Guards men.
The heart of the dispute lies in the differing views on how best to address the complex issue of migration.
Again, it wouldn't even be a problem if we were organized from the beginning.
With Texas asserting its right to take decisive action in the face of what it perceives as federal
Oh no, look at all those invaders. Look at all those invaders caught up in that razor wire there. Do you see that? Oh no.
Action or inadequate measures. This clash of ideologies has not only heightened tensions at the border, but all
masked men with the authority to kill and let people get cut up in the thing. How in the name of God is this proper? Is it border security? I'm sure it is. But at the same time, it's not the best way to do this.
Also raised critical questions about the balance of power in managing border security and immigration. The federal government, tasked with the oversight of national borders, has criticized Texas's unilateral actions as complicating the broader efforts to handle migration in a humane and effective manner.
What I've been saying this entire time, if they could just get organized instead of doing this bull crap. You just got done looking at soldiers standing on the other side of the, standing right in front of the razor wire, doing nothing. You got others setting up the razor wire and all this other crap, and then you got guys like right here in this very single file footage. All the way to the upper left, you're looking at guardsmen standing around in groups, shooting the shit, while migrants are cooperatively sitting there. There's no invasion, people. No invasion.
The controversy underscores the challenges in finding a unified approach to one of the most pressing and divisive issues facing the country today, illustrating the intricate dance of authority, responsibility, and humanitarian concern that defines the ongoing border security debate. Number 3. The humanitarian crisis, migrant asylum seekers. Amidst the escalating border security measures, the plight of migrants, including those seeking asylum, remains a critical humanitarian crisis. These individuals, propelled by a mixture of fear, desperation, and the hope for a better life, continue to make perilous attempts to cross into the United States. Their journeys are fraught with danger, navigating harsh terrains and evading intensified patrols, all in the pursuit of safety and stability far.
Again, what is this crap? What is this crap with showing guys running and all this other crap with guns and all that? There's no invasion. What is this intensity?
From their tumultuous homelands. The stories of these asylum seekers are heart-wrenching, often involving families with young children, individuals escaping violence, or those fleeing economic despair that leaves them with no other choice but to embark on this hazardous trek. The motivations behind these migrations are complex and multifaceted. Many are running from conditions that are unimaginable to most, such as relentless violence, persecution, extreme poverty, and the lack of any viable future in their home countries. The decision to leave is seldom made lightly. It is born out of an acute need to survive, and the hope that the United States will offer refuge and the chance for a new beginning. Despite the visible ramping up of border security, symbolized by razor wire and patrols, the determination of these migrants speaks volumes about the dire circumstance.
I don't know if you can read it, but it says non-potable water. They're rinsing down everybody with non-potable water. That's diseased water.
They are
How about there? That might be a little bit more clear. They're rinsing down the thing to keep people from dehydrating, because by this time the temperature's already up into the 80s. So what started out as the cold, freezing temperatures switched to 80s, which of course is going to lead to more sickly, which of course is going to be the actual danger, not this invasion bullcrap that requires seawire. Seawire is not going to stop COVID from passing through and infecting everybody. Seawire is not even going to stop a cold. So what,
escaping. This reality underscores a significant challenge at the heart of the border crisis, balancing the enforcement of immigration laws with the urgent need to address humanitarian concerns. The sight of families risking everything on the slim hope of asylum.
I'm going to rewind to that part again where they're filling out forms. The thing about the forms is that that's an old footage.
Concerns.
That's some old footage when people were trying to fill out, had sponsors and trying to get fill out applications for asylum and all that good stuff. That was also not what was going on 2 years ago when the busing started. When the busing started, they were just given one piece of paper that says, check a city, New York or Chicago. And they would check one, and that's where they would get bused to. This is a file footage. I don't even know where it is. What that's about. It's the only thing that I can state is, and the only reason why I'm saying that asylum seeking form is because of the blue folder with the number of papers that they have to fill out, which is all the information and the data. That is not what's going on right now. That's an old footage. Carrying on.
The sight of families risking everything on the slim hope of asylum challenges the conscience and calls for a compassionate response to this unfolding human drama. It highlights the critical need for policies that not only secure borders, but also honor the values of dignity and protection for those who have nowhere else to turn.
Okay, those guys that you saw with the platform looking at the geo landscape, again, that wasn't here in America. That was in another country. The only countries that are doing it is other countries keeping things organized.
Number 4, community and national reaction to border policies.
This one I'm not going to waste too much time on. Everybody that's currently running the razor wire and running the border is being a pain in the ass to all of the communities. You got El Paso, Del Rio, all of these people in those counties and cities that are saying this stuff needs to go away. There has to be a better way. They need to be more organized
The
and all this
leaked
good
footage
stuff.
of the National Guard at the US-Mexico border stirred a whirlwind of reactions across the nation, deeply dividing communities and sparking intense debate. In Texas, the presence of the Army of God convoy, a group that arrived to show unwavering support for stringent immigration policies, was met with polarized views. On one hand, some locals rallied behind the convoy, viewing it as a beacon of solidarity with Texas's efforts to enforce law and order at the border.
But we were still asking for order.
They argued that such measures were essential for the safety and security of their communities, emphasizing the importance of legal immigration and the rule of law in maintaining societal harmony. Conversely, this militarized stance attracted severe criticism, particularly from those who saw it as a manifestation of divisiveness and hate. Critics accused political figures, including the governor, of exacerbating tensions and fostering an environment ripe for conflict. The fear among detractors was not just theoretical. Many genuinely worried that these escalated measures could lead to civil unrest, threatening the fabric of community life that had thrived on diversity and mutual respect. The cultural impact of these policies and the ensuing public discourse cannot be understated. Communities found themselves at the crossroads of a national debate, with long-standing reputations at risk of being overshadowed.
Okay, those are the buses, the bus that I told you earlier, where you were literally seeing them crossing the border and being thrown right onto a bus. Now, this here is somebody that's anti-immigrant and all that, blah, blah, blah. That's actually all gave some gave all. That's for a veterans thing. That's got nothing to do with immigration. But that's still being used as part of the propaganda to spit on immigration and anything called reform. Okay? Anything organized, anything cooperative, and all this good stuff.
By the specter of division. The situation was further complicated by the looming fear that these divisions could detract from significant cultural events, such as the anticipated total solar eclipse, which had the potential to unite people in wonder and celebration. Instead, the discord threatened to cast a long shadow, dampening the spirit of unity and overshadowing opportunities for positive.
That's God's army. Oh, that's what they called themselves, God's army. The Take Our Border Back Caravan was their original name. By the time they made it to Texas, they called themselves God's army. And this is another BS thing that I'm talking about, where if any of those people that actually gave a rat's ass about our country would have pitched in and cooperated with any of those voluntary facilities that Greg Abbott ran out, we would still have everything so organized. Those that were in captivity 2 years ago would be citizens right now. Those that are crossing the border right now would be starting their process. But this is the bullcrap that we have to look at every year, every half year, every quarter year, and stuff. Especially with this God's army, which there's nothing godly about them.
Recognition on a global stage. Number 5. Legal battles and Supreme Court rulings. In a striking display of jurisdictional conflict, Texas and the federal government found themselves locked in a series of intense legal battles over border security measures.
Okay, if you ever paid attention to any of my earlier statements, all the way as far back as in light of the corruption of Governor Greg Abbott segment that I've done, you would know that all that's being done is Texas sues America for claiming that Biden is not doing its job. The government then, through legislator, hands over money to Texas in the name of border security. Okay, that's what both parties are doing in the name of border. They're suing in the name of border security. They're giving money in the name of border security. Texas has gone up to $10 billion plus by now and has spent only 5.1. Where's the rest of the money? I don't know. I'm not an IRS investigator. But if I was in government in any way, shape, or form, I would be making that request. That's all that this is about. The bills, and the bills passed and all that is an entirely different subject. The bills passed is just whatever a remedy that they felt that they could do. a bill to put up seawire, a bill to have it torn down, a bill to put up cargo containers to make a wall, a bill to clean it up after it's fallen apart, because technically those things, as you see on ships, they're strapped down. And the reason for that is because every morning mildew makes the containers slippery and they slide off. So all of these containers that they stack 2 stories high slid off each other the next day because of the morning mildew, and fell over. Some of them fell over through strong gusts of wind. And some of them fell off when the weight pushed into the earth down. They sort of sunk into the earth, angled the platform to where the other cargo containers slid off. So there was a bill to put that stuff up. There was a bill to clean that stuff up after it fell down. That's all that this segment is ignoring. Okay, this segment right here is just talking about what was done and all this other crap.
Texas's deployment
You'll see.
of concertina wire along the U.S.-Mexico border and the bold seizure of Shelby Park. Actions taken under Governor Abbott's directive to fortify the border against illegal crossings. These measures, part of Operation Lone Star, aimed to deter migrants, but sparked immediate controversy over their legality and humanitarian implications. The use of concertina wire in particular drew sharp criticism for posing serious risks not only to migrants attempting to cross into the United States, but also to the natural environment along the border's delicate ecosystems. This led to federal intervention, with claims that Texas's actions infringed upon federal jurisdiction over immigration and border security. The federal government argued that such unilateral state actions could undermine national efforts to manage border security and migration in a balanced and humane manner. The legal skirmish reached a climax when the U.S. Supreme Court intervened, delivering a ruling that underscored the federal government's primacy in border security matters. The court's decision to allow federal agents to remove the razor wire installed by Texas highlighted the complex interplay between state sovereignty and federal authority. This ruling not only marked a significant setback for Texas's border security initiatives, but also emphasized the constitutional limits of state action in areas traditionally dominated by federal oversight. This legal standoff, characterized by its contentious nature and profound implications, illustrates the deep divisions and challenging dynamics of managing U.S. border security. It underscores the ongoing struggle to balance state desires for stringent border control with the federal government's responsibility to oversee immigration and border security within the framework of national policy and humanitarian considerations.
Okay, that part is Texas BS. They're saying Biden's not doing his job and all this stuff. It's a failure of the government. Technically, the government was already there the very first year that everybody started crossing in 2021. That military that you see up there and the cop right there, they were set by Texas Governor Greg Abbott to move away and remove those holding facilities and the process that was supposed to be going on. Again, they would have already been citizens by now, and these people that you're looking here on the screen would already start their process. If it hadn't been for Texas Governor Greg Abbott and all the other Republican governors from removing all of the holding facilities and all that and putting this kind of crap up with those kind of policies and this kind of stupid procedures of just being taken. But I don't know if you could see it or not, but on the other side of that slope is another bus. That white platform that looks almost like a canopy top, that's a bus rooftop. Okay? We could have already had them processed. We could have already had them vetted in. We could have already been making, and the room for these people would have already been available for them in order to go out of it. So this bullcrap that, we're doing this because the federal government can't provide humanitarian resources as well as border security. This is why we're doing it. Okay, that's part of the propaganda. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is part of the propaganda. And here, you're looking at it through their own propaganda films.
Number 6. The role of external support and criticism. The border security efforts in Texas, particularly Operation Lone Star, have not only intensified local enforcement measures, but also attracted significant national attention, drawing individuals from across the country to either support or criticize the state's actions. This phenomenon underscores the polarized views on immigration and border security within the United States.
Yeah, some of those aren't actual Texans. You got National Guard from Ohio and Iowa and other states that are being sent in by other governors, Republican governors, and all that are at your tax-paying dollars.
Supporters from as far away as Oregon have traveled to Texas, demonstrating solidarity with the state's aggressive stance against illegal crossings. They argue that such measures are necessary to uphold law and order and to protect the sovereignty and security of the nation. This external support highlights the depth of concern among certain segments of the American population regarding border security and
Yeah, and it's not even stopping them.
the perceived inadequacies of federal policies. Conversely, the escalation of border security measures under Governor Abbott's leadership has faced substantial criticism for exacerbating tensions and fostering division within communities.
Plus, once again, it's not stopping the migrants. All this crap, and it doesn't even do anything.
Critics argue that the militarization of the border and the aggressive tactics employed do not address the root causes of migration, such as violence, poverty, and political instability in migrants' home countries. They call for a more humane and comprehensive approach to immigration reform that considers the welfare of migrants and respects their rights to seek asylum. Amidst this backdrop of support and criticism, there is a growing call for unity and effective representation from Texas's political leaders. The situation demands a balanced approach that not only secures the border, but also embodies the values of compassion and respect for human rights.
Okay, I'm stopping it right there because I seriously did not realize how much time I was taking up. But you guys, you see what I'm talking about. It's their own propaganda films that are proving me correct. And it's their own propaganda films that are revealing the bullcrap. If you use your eyes while listening to what they're saying, you'll see that they're totally conflicting each other. It's not an invasion. And as a guy, again, I'm not a political figure. I'm not, running for office or anything like that. But to say I'm just a guy that's a delivery driver. I deliver groceries. I deliver food. I've delivered furniture. I've delivered tires to automotive areas. You know, I've delivered water heaters. I'm just a delivery guy. But I deliver all over Texas, whether it be food or furniture or objects or whatever. You know, and I see what's going on. And, all of that stuff that you saw on the film, yeah, there are people crossing the border, but they're not armed. They're not even dangerous. No, the only times that they're dangerous is whenever they're being bussed to places like New York and Chicago, where they have no choice but to join a gang or something for protection. And anybody that is already a gang member, as certain testimonies have said, they've got gang tattoos expressed tattooed all the way up to the top of their head. Well, that's not Biden's doing. That's Governor Greg Abbott's doing. They're being placed there by politicians who aren't supposed to be doing that. So yeah, I got to cut up because I seriously did not know how long this was actually taking. It took a lot longer, and you all know the video now. You could see for yourself. This was just 12 minutes out of 21, and it goes on and on with all of this hype and this scare tactics or whatever to make it seem more serious and more dark and more sinister than what it actually is. The fact of the matter is that none of these problems would have been a problem if we had just gotten organized from the very beginning. That's all I got for today, guys. I hope you all taking care of yourselves and everything. It's Monday. It's a brand new work week. And that's also the reason why I have to cut this short, because I have to get to work. Y'all take care. Y'all take it easy. This is Chris Comments. Be prepared for another one of these, okay? I might not take as long as I am, like the way with this first one, but the only reason why I'm doing this is because of what I've said earlier. You know, if you want to see the BS, just look at all of the propaganda films that are going on right now. This was one of them. It's by a guy named, or somebody named Stealth, and it's called Leaked Footage of National Guard Fighting. U.S.-Mexico border goes, I don't know what it says, goes wrong or something like that. It kind of stops right there. But the fact of the matter is, it's just one out of, goes viral. I'm sorry. Leaked footage goes viral. Look, I'm sorry. It's just one out of a bunch of propaganda films that's going on right now by people who are making you think that this is something of what it's not. It's an invasion. It's overwhelming. It's a crisis. It's this, it's that, and it's all out to get you, and all this other crap. That's the propaganda filming that I'm talking about that's leading to hate and anger and the misappropriate uses of our political leaders, as well as the wimpy attempts from the government political leaders, who just can't seem to get a handle on our Texas governor and the inappropriate usages of his power. So, again, there's more footage. Expect more of these kind of videos where I'm just going to start putting them up there. I'm going to start exposing who these douchebags are and the reason why they're doing it. It's pretty clear, plain and simple. It's for ratings propaganda. The problem is that propaganda leads to hate. And when you got so much anger and hate being developed, you get this kind of BS that's going on at our border with the political abuses, or not so much abuses, but just inappropriate uses of power. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to take off. Y'all take care. Y'all take it easy. This is Chris with Chris's Comments, signing out.